A big thanks goes out to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video.
Well, good morning everybody. Didn't sleep too well last night. He was, oh God, it was like a bloody freight train. But I don't know what I did to myself last night. I twinged my back somehow, so I couldn't lie on a certain way, otherwise my back started hurting. Oh dear. I haven't even looked at the weather. Have you looked at the weather yet? It looks not bad.
I can't get a signal.
Huh?
I can't get a signal, but it looks alright. It's better than yesterday anyway.
We're surrounded in big old trees, so it looks like there's a bit of blue sky up there. There was some mist over the river here. Anyway, we're not very fast right now. Brian's going to take the tent down, and I'm just going to make a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and then we'll head on out. Isn't this a riveting video? This is Myra Falls. Some of you may recognize this from other videos that I've done in the past. It truly is a spectacular waterfall. Has 3 or 4 tiers, so you can concentrate on each tier. The weather is absolutely beautiful today, but unfortunately right now there's quite a bit of sun on some parts of the waterfall and then shade in the other, so it's not going to work photographically. So I'm going to have to try and find something else to photograph for now, and hopefully we'll get a bit of cloud cover in to kind of subdue that light a bit. If it doesn't, then we'll probably go and look for something else to photograph. All right, it looks like it's going to be sunny pretty much all day today. There are a few clouds around. Maybe they'll move in a bit. But you know, I've said this a number of times. That's the problem with having expectations with areas like this, is that you know, you set your goals, so you say, okay, I want to come and photograph a waterfall, but if the light is not great, then, you know, it kind of ruins the opportunity or the other opportunities. So I always come in with an open mind. Okay, so I can't photograph the waterfall. Well, I could, but the light is just not that great. So I'm going to concentrate on things that will go with this type of light. So right now I'm in the shade, and the rock shelves around here have some amazing patterns. And since I have a long lens and I have my close-up gear, why not photograph patterns in the rock? So what I usually do to try and, you know, get my creative juices flowing is perhaps think of a theme in this area and think, okay, I want to come up with 3 or 4 images of patterns of rocks, and then you have somewhat of a mini portfolio, and sometimes that can kind of get those creative juices flowing, and you might find some other things and then go on to another theme and try and come up with 3 or 4 photographs. So in this case, there's some great pinks in the rocks and really neat patterns. So what I'm going to do is try and incorporate this little plants down here. There's some greens and reds in there, and then there's pinks and blues kind of flowing in around and within the plant. So let's see what we can come up here, and then once I photograph that, I'll try and find 2 or 3 other images that kind of relate to this pattern.
go and see what Brian's doing. Maybe he's got something better than me, and then I can go and steal his composition. I know, it's getting old, but it's true. All right, here he is. All right, Bri, what are we looking at here?
I came across these 3 petals.
Oh yeah, from what? Oh look, there are a rose. It's a Nootka rose.
Oh, you know what? One of them's just moved.
Oh shit! It must have been when I jumped on the rock.
But it doesn't matter.
It's like right on the edge. It's on the cusp.
Right, it hasn't gone yet, so it's all right. So I just like the way that you've got the one in the bottom going to the left, one in the middle going to the right. Yeah, it's just a nice simple abstract shot while waiting on that sun drying.
So what lens setup do you have here?
1-400.
Sony 1-400. I must admit that is a really nice lens.
100mm, and I've got the Lee filter.
Oh, look at that contraption.
Polarized.
Lee filters. What a load of rubbish.
They all do the same. So yeah, that's the shot that I'm going for.
All right, nice.
Before these petal moves, because we can't get any shots here, so the rocks are really interesting. So it'd be good to have an explore around here.
Yeah. All right. Cool. It's funny when you come to an area and you kind of expect to photograph a certain subject, and then you realize that perhaps it's not going to work in the light that you have. It's often a little bit disappointing, and then you try to find something else to photograph, like the patterns in the rocks, and I find that by doing that it often leads to other things. So I started off with the patterns in the rocks, and then I started noticing some really nice patterns in the water, the sunlit water. So I started experimenting with different shutter speeds and different ND filters. So it just kind of opens your mind to other ways of photographing things. I mean, obviously not all of the photographs are going to work out, but if you just have successes all the time, then how are you going to improve as a photographer or as an artist? Or how are you going to experiment and try different try different things? Anyway, so I've been photographing patterns not only in the rocks but also in the water, and now I'm starting to just photograph just the waterfall with some case ND filters. A big thanks goes out to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. I've been using Squarespace for a few years now, and what I enjoy about using the platform is its elegant design templates and ease of use. With Squarespace, you can start a completely personalized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. Choose from professionally curated layouts and styling options to build a unique online presence from the ground up, tailored to your brand or business and optimized for every device. Easily launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated, optimized SEO tools so you show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. Whether you sell physical goods, digital content, or services, Squarespace has the tools to start selling online. Make checkout seamless for your customers with simple but powerful payment tools. Accept credit cards, PayPal, and Apple Pay. And in eligible countries, offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay or ClearPay. If this sounds appealing, why not head on over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use the code AdamGibbs to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. come down to the lower falls. Amazing rainbow down here, so I'm going to see if I can photograph that. The only issue is that the waterfall is in direct sunlight, so exposure is going to be a bit tricky. But I think with the medium format should be okay. I should be able to lift those shadows no problem and still maintain the highlights. Yeah, great rainbow. I've come down to the lower falls, and as you can see, the light, there's some sections, if you pick and choose, you could probably get some pretty decent shots of the waterfall in the shade. But what I'm really excited about is behind the camera here, there's where the waterfall kind of runs out into the lake, there's all these swirling bubbles, and that is really cool. So I'm going to probably spend more time photographing those than this, because the patterns are so random, but you have to be quite quick with it. So I'll probably just put it on burst mode, so I'm taking several shots per second, because they're swirling quite fast. But yeah, it's really beautiful. Once again, everybody, thank you ever so much for watching this week's video. I really appreciate it. Be sure to give me the old thumbs up if you did enjoy the video. Also, if you'd like to see more content from this area, be sure to head on over to Brian's channel. Lastly, this coming fall, I have a few spots open on our Port Renfrew photography workshop. That's on the west coast of Vancouver Island. And also on the east coast, I have a few spots left for the Hornby Island Parksville workshop. So go check those out at adamgibbs.com. Till next time, bye-bye.